How's everybody? Hello, how's everyone doing out there today? You are joining us here with GRT Sports. You're here with Guru, Dennis. Oh, my man, how you doing, Tito?
I'm doing all right, man. We're gonna try and live up and to the Rainier hype and hopefully do this show right without him, man.
So, yes, I want people to know Ramir, he's a little bit under the weather today, so he will be joining us. We're going to wish him a speedy recovery, and we're going to do this for him today. All right. So, what do we have first on our agenda for this beautiful Friday? I
Yeah,
think we'll
man.
start.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, here we go, man. We got UFC going on. Just wanted to talk about, just very briefly. Not gonna go super in depth or anything like that. With the fights, but I think there's two major fights, title fights going on. You have on the co-main event, Dominic Reyes versus Blakovic.
Okay.
That's a light heavyweight bout. That's for John Jones's vacant belt. So it'll be interesting. Obviously John Jones announced he's gonna try giving it a go at heavyweight, which will be interesting to see, right? I mean, he really wants to
Oh,
put
is
his
he moving up?
yeah, he's moving up in weight, man. John Jones is moving up in weight. He went ahead and relinquished that title belt. Said somebody can come get it. So sure enough, that's what they're fighting for. You had Dominic Reyes, who I thought beat John Jones, but as Raymir says, you got to beat the champ to be the champ. So we'll see it. On here, I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes. I know that he was hurt for a lengthy amount of time, but I think he can put together, a nice little winning streak if he can get this. But Jan's not going to be any, no walk in the park, man. He got a little bit of power. He's more of a wrestler, but he's definitely shown up the last couple of fights, put himself up there. So it'll be a banger. Hopefully, it'll be a banger. My motto, GTR or GRT Sports. Our motto is go for broke, man. So hopefully we get to
That's
see
it.
it. Hopefully we get to see it, but I got Reyes here just to see where we're at. Then you have the main event, man. Main event, we've been waiting to see this. You got Israel Adesanya, you got Izzy, the last style bender versus Paolo. I look like Ricky Martin, Costa. Um, you know, it's hopefully, hopefully we get a good fight. I think with Izzy, it can go either or, but he's put on a show. So um, I see Izzy winning here. I think he just has the skill to kind of walk Paulo Costa, walk him down. If he can make it a fight, if he can stretch out the rounds. But I mean, Paulo Costa has that power, man. He's a big dude. He definitely is somebody that goes for broke. And it was interesting because he went the distance with Yoel. So, a lot of people said Yoel Romero kind of won that fight between them. I think Yoel was just trying to be too funny, trying to be too cute. Um, so I would really want to see Paulo knock out here. Like I would want Izzy to get upset. I don't see it happening, but this is gonna be one of the first few times that I'm not gonna go with my gut and go for like what my wishful finish would be. But I think Adesanya takes it just so that he can try and build up that fight, right? I mean, he's been talking to trying to get John Jones. I don't know. I never see Izzy going up to heavyweight, but stranger things have happened, man.
For those out there who don't know what kind of fighter uh, Costa is, can you give the viewers of what are his biggest strengths going into this fight with Israel?
I mean, in reality, his biggest strengths come in the gun show, man. I mean, he's a striker. he's a striker. I mean, yeah, yes, he's Brazilian, and obviously, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lives there. They definitely train in it. I'm sure, he has had a sub finish. But he's a striker, man. I mean, he's a big power boy. I mean, some would say that, he hasn't fought for a while. And by some, I mean, I've insinuated, around my circle that the reason that this fight took so long is so that he can get cleaned up because he's a big boy, man. I mean, it definitely, he definitely, he definitely puts on that weight. He just has the power. He really is, just has power. But um, Israel Adesanya, I think, showcased that power recently. I think he can hit it with strikes, but it'll be interesting, man, because all it takes sometimes, in UFC, it's anybody's game. All it takes is that one punch sometimes, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah. And are there any women on this card at all?
There is. They have. I want to say that they have the fourth card. So,
Okay.
the main event is 5 fights. They're not the first fight on the main card. They're the second. You actually have Vieira versus
Okay.
Eubanks. Vieira's coming off. I think they want to give her some fights. I think they want to, build her up some street because she's the bigger name here. I mean, Eubanks is no walk in the park though. She's kind of like that wily veteran that goes into it. So this could be a banger, but we've had some upsets in the women's division recently on some of these undercards. Um, but I see Vieira taking this one.
Excellent. Excellent. And there you go, folks. So there you go with our UFC. So those are the exciting fights that are going to be coming up this weekend on Saturday. Tune in if you can and watch them. They're going to be really good, exciting fights. Now let's talk a little bit about the NBA. The Heat and the Lakers are up 3-1. What are we to make of this lead that they both have over the Celtics and the Nuggets?
Well, I mean, I think they got to be careful still. Like, I mean, Denver. Some will say Denver has the Lakers right where they want them, right? I mean, they
Right.
they they were down. They were in this predicament. 2 other rounds. They came back from. So some will say they have them right where they want them. So we'll see. Anthony Davis did get hurt towards the end of the game. It did seem like a pretty bad ankle roll. I mean, it does almost always with a big dude, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he did finish out the game. So I haven't heard anything that. So more than likely he's gonna play, but they still got to be careful. Denver is not going away without a fight, and then the Heat. They got to be careful too, man. I mean, Boston. We talked about them. I mean, I know that you said sweep, but I think right now, I mean, I don't know her, but I know that right before we got on this show, Boston, I mean, it was a close game, but Boston actually broke away with a big lead in the third. So Boston's up, I think, but the Heat are never out because they got them 3-point shooters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's one thing about the Heat. They're really good at spacing the floor. That rookie that they have, Tyler Hero, he lit it up the other night. He had like 34 points. He was like 10 or 14 from the field. And I said that's what they would do against the Celtics. I said they're going to play small ball, you know, against them, space them out. And that's what they're doing. And they've been able to contain Kimba. They've been able to, really stifle him offensively, keeping him out of his rhythm to run the Celtics offense.
Yeah. I mean, I still, I would still want to see a 7-game series. It even though every games are every other game now, so it's like Game 7 would be Sunday, I believe, if that's the case. If Celtics win this game, which I still haven't found the score just yet. I mean, haven't really looked, but if they pull this one off, it's just one game at a time at that point. But on the Kemba point, our real quick, Kev, I see you in the comments. Kev is still definitely he called Celtics early. He's still saying Celtics in 7. So we'll see if it comes through. But at the same time, man, I think with Kemba Walker, he just hasn't, in the Toronto series, he didn't look right, but it was also because, they had guards that can actually, play it, like Toronto matched up really, really well with Kemba. Um, so, the Celtics being as deep as they are with the young studs, Tatum and Brown, they, they ended up closing that one out. And I think it was Rainier in our show that said, this was going to be a little bit easier. The Heat was a better matchup, or not so good of a matchup to contain Kemba. Like, this could be his series, if he does what he does, like playoff time or anything. To me, though, like, he just doesn't look right. I don't know if it's just something out of rhythm, like he's not shooting the ball all that well. He can still drive. I still feel like he can get penetration and whatnot. Pause. Shout out to Rainier. I know you watching. Rainier's in the comments, man. So definitely blow him up. But he just doesn't look right to me, man. I don't know. Like, I don't see it's the Heat's defense or anything like that, but his rhythm, he's just not shooting the ball right now, man.
Well, it seems to me like they all seem to be a little bit out of sync. They're relying too much on their jump shot. You figure with all their height and their athleticism and their good ball handling skills, on average 6'7", 6'6", that they would do more penetration against the Heat. I'm not seeing it. They're just relying too much on their outside shot, and it's killing them. That's all we can really say moving forward. Moving forward, but I will say, much luck for the Irish.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, a little bit of an update. So Boston is actually up 117-98 with 3 minutes left. So Boston's up big. Boston's up big. But so they're
luck
still
of the
fighting.
Irish. Luck of the Irish is still up. We'll say that, and maybe Denver has one more golden nugget in them to pull off a 3-2 series to kind of breathe some life into their series with the Lakers. Um, so what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and we are going to cover football. We're going to go to NFL. We had an exciting game last night with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Surprise! Um, the Dolphins got their first victory of the night. That was a really good game. What did you think of it, Tito? How did you feel about that game?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch it. I had no interest in it. I mean, I was following the score. I dumbly didn't look at my fantasy lineup, and I had DJ Shark, DJ Baby Shark, on my, starting on my flex spot, and he didn't play. So I already started with a big goose egg, but I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be an interesting game. I think, Jaguars. I thought they were gonna, put up a fight a little bit more. I mean, they came out swinging, even though they lost both of the games, but they came out swinging. So, or actually, they won the first one, but um, I thought it was going to be a better game, and Fitzmagic just showed up. I thought we were going to be able to see Tua this time around. If he wasn't going to get it, we were probably going to get the rookie. But um, I mean, the Dolphins came out and played on a Thursday. Hopefully other people watched them.
Yes, they certainly did, and they put on a pretty good performance. Gardner Minshew for Jacksonville. The last 2 weeks. He performed well, even in a losing effort last week to the Titans. Unfortunately, he came into this game and he looked like a sixth-round pick, and that's something that they're going to have to watch out for. I'm sure he's going to redeem himself. He wants that starting job. He knows that people are talking about Clemson quarterback and possibly going to Jacksonville. All he has to do is just keep on winning. So we're going to go ahead and move forward right here And the topic we have right now is Breeze and Brady. And the reason I'm bringing this topic up is because we have two old grizzled veterans, 20 years in the league, and we want to talk about their their arms this week moving forward. Breeze has thrown for 44.25 miles. Tom Brady has thrown for 42.6 miles. If you want to know what that is in yards, for Breeze, that's 77,888. For Tom Brady, that's 75,027 yards. So, Tito, I give you a over or under on Breeze. Who do you think will finish? Do you think his arm will finish strong for the season, or do you think it'll get weaker as the season goes on and affect the New Orleans Saints playoff hopes?
I think he'll get stronger. I mean, and I don't mean stronger in a sense like he's going to throw MVP caliber numbers or anything like that, but I think he's going to remain fairly consistent. I don't. I think I said it last show. I was in the minority in saying this, but I don't think he's going to deteriorate as fast as we think he might. Same with Brady, but with Breeze, I think he remains fairly consistent. I mean, I'll peg him to teeter close to the 4,000 yards this season for sure. He still has, can't guard Mike, so I know that he's hurt, and they're saying he's going to miss a couple of weeks, but we'll see. I still think he has a talent. I think Sean Payton could use, they'll figure out how to use Emmanuel Sanders in that offense. I'm sure they're still going to use Kamara in the passing game. So I still think he has enough weapons. They protect him enough to not be disruptive. The one reservation that I have is that thumb. He got hurt last year. Had that surgery. Maybe that goes. And it was throwing arm, so maybe that goes and affects him somehow. But I don't. I think he'll remain fairly consistent.
Okay. One thing I would like to say about that with Breeze is, I disagree. I don't think that his game is going to be that consistent moving forward. I think that there's blood in the water, and the Sharks smell it, and they're coming to get him. He has the lowest average in yards per attempt, downfield, and that showed against the Raiders. And I don't want to take anything away from Oakland, but when you look at the film, it's like, my God, and you understand why you need a person like can't guard Mike on the field along with Kamara, because the little short passing game is where it's at for him. You're going to come across teams that are going to take that away, and that's what's going to be a problem for him. And he left a lot of plays on the field to be desired. But certainly we were going to keep an eye on Drew Brees this week. Tito said that, not to be alarmed. And so we're going to hold and reserve judgment for a couple more weeks. Let's go to Tom Brady. What do you expect this week from him? And is his arm going to survive the season?
I think so, man. I mean, Brady to up to this point, man, has been, a walking mystery, like he hasn't shown it. He's the oldest guy in the league, and still playing high caliber football. I mean, the person that rings a bell in this situation is Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl. I mean, yes, the defense. Peyton Manning couldn't chuck the ball 10 yards. Like his arm definitely, deteriorated. It was like, that neck injury and power and everything like that, and it's just like, I still think, even with Breeze, like I put both of these guys in that category where experience is going to help them in this situation. Like I get the league is defenses. For me, I think on the offensive side, moving the ball, like, you don't necessarily have to throw deep. Yes, it's good to, to have that versatility on your team, but I mean, not to throw shade. I mean, Ramirez probably laughing, but not to throw shade on the Cowboys. I mean, Dak threw for 400 yards. Guys should have lost that game, and it's like it doesn't necessarily amount to, the yardage and wins doesn't necessarily amount to it. So it's like I don't think that they'll hurt in that category. I think they're still going to be up there in that, you know, they won't they might not finish the elite of the elite because I mean I think the guard is being passed with Mahomes and Jackson, and they're definitely going to be taking it, taking the reins. But I still, and Rodgers is still there. Russell Wilson said, "Nah, like they're." I still think that Breeze and Brady are going to do what they're capable of doing. For me, it's like I said last show, man. I think what's really going to hurt them is their defenses, till this point, are playing very undisciplined football, and that's going to be tough because if that makes the season long for them, then I would definitely agree with you in being like, okay, if you're telling me that they're going to have to put the game on their lines every single game, 2-minute drill, then all right, then maybe I will give it to you and being like, look, they're not going to hit it every single time. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, I still think they got some gas left until they show me otherwise, man. Because even though Brady's 1-1, I really liked what I saw from last week, man. I mean, it's a new team, it's a new offense. Once he starts clicking, once he starts knowing these receivers, knowing where the ball needs to be placed, you don't need necessarily have to throw it deep. You just need to put it where nobody else can get it.
Well, I'll say that he played all last week. I mean, the running game helped him out a lot, and that's good. I, on the other hand, happen to disagree with you in the sense that I think both of them have BB gun arms now, and play flag football. But I know it's hard to throw down the field 20 yards, But I will say this. Their supporting cast definitely has to play better in order for them to be successful and look successful. So we're going to stay tuned with Breeze and Brady, the two statesmen of the league and their arms. We're going to move forward now, and we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions. Listen, Matt Patricia has, he's gone on 11 in his last 11 games, dating back to last season. Okay, he's had a system in place for 2 years. He has weapons. Okay, he has a veteran quarterback who's in his prime of his year. What in the world is going on in Detroit? And should Matt Patricia be fired before the season over if they lose, if they go 1-6?
I guess, like history says yes, like maybe he's better off as a coordinator. This is just one of those situations, like North Turner rings a bell, just always better off as a coordinator and not really a head coach. But at the same time, I mean, you can't put it all on Patricia. I mean, that first game, I mean, the rookie gave away the game. And I mean, but it wasn't, that's not all on Patricia. At what point do you put it on the players? I mean, it goes both ways, right? But
that's one incident.
if they go winless though, I mean, rightfully so. I do think that, shake them up, bench people, like just start making noise, because if you're gonna go out, hey man, GRT motto, man, go for broke.
Go for broke. I'll say this. I really gave him a game too many. I really should just give him 0-5 because he went 0-11. It's 0-11 now, so 5 more games would make it 0-16. That's like a straight season worth of losses. I think that's a fireable offense. 16 games is a lot of games. And I'll say this: Jim Caldwell, 11-5, 9-7, 9-7, 7-9. The Lions would kill for that kind of record right now, and they don't have it.
Yeah,
It just seems to me
it might suit them well to get the number one pick, man. I mean, this quarterback draft, Stafford's not getting any younger. Like maybe you find your maybe you get your replacement there, you know? So it's like it might suit them well, but it's yeah, man. I mean, for me, what I want to see if Patricia really is a head coach, I want to see that defense dominate. That's what he's
Mhm.
known for, right? Like that's what he's known for. So if he really wants to save his job and you're losing this game because your defense is keeping you in it, then guess what? For me, he gets to stay as coach because that's what he's known for. That's his forte. But if that's not the case, if your defense is garbage and you're being, you're losing to Trash Bisky, get out of here, But that's just where I'm at.
It is funny because it just seems like everyone that seems off the Bill Belichick tree all of a sudden is a genius, right? Goes off. He doesn't do well in Denver. He comes back. Romeo Cornell. He's one of the most decent human beings that you could probably ever know. He didn't do well. Eric Mangini, Charlie Weiss. We can go on and on. And it just seems to me like a lot of good coaches are getting stifled. And I know that's another subject, but it's like, man, you see Bill Belichick in the stall in the bathroom, and you're in the stall next to him. You take a piss, and it's like, hey, I was in the stall next to Bill Belichick. Really? Maybe you know how to coach. So I know that sounds silly, but I think that's where we're at with Matt Patricia. I mean, come on, you went
Oh,
in the opposite direction of what Jim Caldwell did. You know who should be in that position? Jim Caldwell should still be there.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a copycat league, man. Like, look at the Gruden tree. Look at the McVay tree right now, right? Like, it's we saw it with Andy Reid, right? Like, you had Andy Reid, you have who is it, Doug Peterson. So it's like it's a copycat league. I mean, now who they're saying next in line? I mean, I really wish somebody gives them a job, but Eric Bieniemy, right? Um, Offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
That man deserves a job.
Right? And it's like, I won't take anything away, but Niners defensive, defensive coordinator
Salah,
Robert
Robert
Sala,
Sala.
it's like, but it's a copycat lead though, man. Like you got to score points. Everybody wants that flash, everybody wants to have it, the next big thing. So I think you're going to see it. I think you're going to continue to see it as long as Belichick keeps reminding everybody that he's the best at what he does. Of course they're going to go after his guys because they're going to be like, man, maybe he sprinkles you know, give me a 1/16th worth of Bill Belichick and I'm going to have some magic, but it's really a crapshoot every single time. I mean, you look at Josh McDaniel. He went to Denver, tried it out for a bit, came back, and said, nah, I'm cool, was about to leave, I felt like he did Indianapolis dirty, but it is what it is, um, I'm sure there's a handshake deal there somewhere where it's like you're next in line, but whatever Belichick, whenever he decides to kind of step down, but I still think you're gonna see it. I still think you're gonna go after those type of individuals. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Flores is from the Belichick tree, isn't he?
Yes.
So it's like I think he was linebackers coach. So and Miami, I mean, I feel like Flores. I'm a big fan of that coach. I feel like he hasn't had a fair shake there. And he's like he really hasn't put his staple on it. But you need to
Well,
put up and shut up.
I certainly don't have a problem with him. But when it seems like Matt Patricia is over here and the players are over here, right? And to me, it comes down to we got to get rid of this genius label. We got to get rid of
Yeah,
this. We don't even. I mean, to me, it just comes down to production. I mean, my gosh, you go on 11. At what point does Bob Quinn, who by the way fired Jim Caldwell, when is his ass on the hot seat? Really? I mean, you hired Matt Patricia. He was your buddy, and he's 0-11. And it doesn't matter if that guy dropped that pass. You know, that point to that one thing. Why don't you have Matthew Stafford playing at a high level? Why don't you have, you know, you're from the Belichick tree. You're supposed to figure out a way to get it done with what you have. That was why you were hired. And it's not happening. I am going to predict it here first. I say that if the Detroit Lions loses their next 5 games, okay, and that's going to go to the end of October. I'm here to tell you right here, Matt Patricia is gone. The Guru said it. All right, moving on.
Real quick, who do you have as first head coach fired?
I have Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia.
All right, guys. You guys heard it here first. Guru says Matt Patricia. Oddly enough, my money's on Gase.
That's an interesting one, you know, and that brings us to our next topic right now. So what we have is we have Guru and Tito's teams that are on life support. And why do I say life support? Because we're at week 3 now. We know that teams that are already in the hole at 0-2, when you go on 0-3, history already says you're not going to the playoffs. The numbers support it, okay? So here we go, Tito. We're going to go with our teams on life support. All right, we're going to start number 1. All right, I'm going to tell you the Bengals now. I'm going to go with the Bengals first, and I know that they're 0-2, and I know that they just got a new quarterback, franchise quarterback. But guess what? You did a lot of losing last year, and you hired a new coach. He's going to have to get something done this year. He is on life support more than the team is on life support. But they have to start getting some wins.
No, I mean, I'm going to say DNR, man. Do not resuscitate. Only reason is the Bengals, man. You just had the number 1 pick. How much do you really expect to get better? I mean, they say, you know, Burrow doesn't act like a rookie. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I think he's one of the older guys. I think he's 27, 26, 27, you know, not your average, you know, rookie, you know, he's definitely mature. Right. But it is one of those things where it's like, he's a young guy. He's an offensive guy, right? Like he's a guy, he's McVay tree. So, you know, it's going to take a while to kind of establish that. I think he has, you know, he's not on life support. I think he's definitely, you know, I don't think he goes anywhere. I think they leave him alone. You know, he has some time. I just want to see them move yards, because I'm telling you, if that's the type of coach you are, then you better perfect your process. You know, like if you know, if you can't get a defensive coordinator to partner up with you or anything like that, then you know, try and figure it out. But you damn well better be putting points on the board and moving that football, getting that yardage.
Absolutely. You know, you're absolutely right. I mean, this coach was brought in because, again, he was supposed to be from that McVay tree. And, you know, listen, I'm all about giving a coach about 32 games. He's going to be hitting that 32. I expect for the Bengals to have at least 5 or 6 wins this season. All right, so moving on. Let's go to number 2, team on life support. We're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. My God, Carson Wentz is a complete mess. I mean, where do we start with him?
Man, I wish, hey, Ramir, feel better, man. I wish you were here. I think topic wise, we all know he definitely is not a fan of Wentz. But I completely agree, man. I mean, Philadelphia, man, what are you doing? You're playing in the East. You're playing in a winnable. Be careful, Dallas. You're playing in a winnable division, and yeah, man, I think they're in trouble. I really do. I thought their defense was going to be better too, and you're going to let Washington beat you. You know, it's not just the quarterback. I think it's the whole team, man. I do think that they're in life support. They better watch out.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz has, like, the lowest QBR, right along there at the bottom with Sam Darnold. He's just not doing what they want him to do. He's kind of forcing it. He has 20 missed throws, more than any quarterback in the league right now. So I don't know if they get it together personally. I hope he continues to be a train wreck. I'm only saying that, fans, please, just because he's in my division. I don't wish bad on anyone. But, maybe they'll get their stuff figured out. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to go to another team here. Listen, I only put them on the life support list because they're supposed to win this week, technically. And I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. All right. We'll do our picks later, but I mean, the Browns, I would say on life support because if Dwayne Haskins, who I believe is a really good quarterback, but has to get off to a fast start this week in order for Washington to be successful, if he goes in there and he beats the Browns got some issues. And that's no knock on Washington, but we're talking about a fully loaded, stacked Cleveland Browns team that was supposed to make some noise last year and was definitely supposed to make some noise this year. And you got an up-and-coming Washington team. What do you say about that?
I agree. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Baker. It definitely is a make it or break year, but I completely agree, man. I know we have our picks, and I, the show has it's notorious. I give out free losses in my pick'ems because I don't pick against my team. But you're absolutely right, man. The Cleveland Browns. I mean, I'm having trouble with it's they're supposed to be good. They're supposed to be good. They're supposed to be their year. They're stacked, and it's just like that's sounds like a broken record at this point. Like that's been the case for them for a good while, and they're the Browns. Like when have they? I mean, we could say the same thing about Detroit. That
Right.
fan base is gonna be. You know that fan base loves misery. The reason that I say that is like they're happy win or lose. Like they're there, like loyal fan base to down to the T. I mean, I'm loyal to my team, right? Like Washington's been garbage for years, and it's like I'm a fan, I'm gonna continue to follow them. I got no name. And I'm repping. I'm repping. I'm not even. I'm repping not even a state. I am. It's just I'm repping an area, but it is one of those things, man, where it's just like, yeah, man, the Browns, like, paper, but that's good enough. Paper doesn't mean anything when you're not going out there and performing. I think you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have anybody orchestrating it, if you don't have anybody putting you in a position to like succeed or anything like that, like, I mean, somebody has to get involved, where the coach, coordinators, somebody has to kind of take it by the rein. A quarterback, it can't do it all the time. It can't be, OBJ, give me the ball. Like that's it can't just be that, So I think you're absolutely right, man. Life support. If anything, if I was there, I mean, sad to say, man, but pull the plug. Forget life support. Let's pull the plug, man.
Let's pull the plug because I'll say this. I do expect Washington's front four to get after him, and I also expect that their cover corners to play decent defense. Their corners aren't that bad in Washington. They're young, they're developing. They already got like 1 or 2 picks this season. I always think that's good, to have. Listen, This is the Baker possibly farewell tour. All right, with each game, and for Washington, this is a way for them to build their credibility to say, "Hey, we're up and coming now," because they have young talent too. And this is a moment for Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins, you better step up this week. You're expected to. All right, you're not just giving this job, because you were the 15th pick. You're expected to win. And if you don't, there's someone behind you who knows this offense probably just as well. You cannot come out stinking it up like you did last week. All right. So The segment I have now is called Respect Game of the Week. And this right here is for players that look, they want respect, they must win this week. All right. And we're going to go down our little list here. I'm going to start with it's called Respect Game of the Week and Prove It Week. These are players that we just really don't know about yet. We're hearing a lot of things, and anybody who knows me knows that I just don't go by, I kind of go against the grain. So I'm going to start with Prove It, Respect Game of the Week. The person who really has something to prove, I'm going to say Josh. Josh, uh, for the Buffalo Bills, okay, they're 2-0, right? But they played a team that was 0-4. Well, if you want to say now they were 1-5 combined, we're talking about the Jets and the Dolphins. You're going to go up against a formidable defense and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and that Rams defense. We need to see how good you are. This is a game that's going to kind of let me know. What do you think, Tito?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think Buffalo's better than kind of how you're describing them. You know, yeah, they have been. I don't think they've been two gimme games, but they've won. They're 2-0. They're in position, but you have the Rams. You know, who are legit. At least I think are legit. Where I think you're right. This is one of those prove it games, especially for Allen. But yeah, I agree.
The thing with Allen, I just, I know that he's had some tough games and he's had some games that he's won that weren't gimme games, but I need to see him do it consistently. And that's where I got it with him. Number two on this list is uh, let's go Derek Carr. All right. I mean, this is a guy who's, he's polarizing. All right. He was given a 5-year, $125 million contract. He has a losing record since he's been in the league. I can't, call it what you want. Okay, he broke his leg in the MVP year. That's done with. People break legs, bones all the time in the NFL, right? The game goes on. And we are 4 years later, and we're still talking about his performance the last 3 years. All right. And Derek Carr, listen, this is the moment where Derek Carr has to go down an alley. And we're going to call this alley 6-car alley, right? And he's got to get through that alley. And he's got 6 games against teams that I feel are going to be playoff contenders. So this is to prove you are for real, Derek Carr. This is the moment. How do you feel about that? They play the Patriots this week.
If if we were judging for that 6 game stretch, like we talked about, like we talked about after the show, I believe on Wednesday, I would say yes. In this situation, though, game three, 2-0 to start the season, you play New England, you have a tough stretch coming up. I don't necessarily think that this game against New England is a prove it game to me. I mean, Cam did come, played phenomenal in the spotlight on Sunday, this past Sunday. Um, and we're going to continue to see some of that. I mean, my pick, I'll give away my pick in this one. I'm picking the Raiders to win this game, but it is one of those things where I don't necessarily see this game as their prove it. Like, I do think that they can lose this game, and if he still, he beats Baltimore, he beats, the tougher teams. That look, he's fine. Like I think I told this to Ramir after the call where I was like, I know you said you wanted to go, you want to see them go 3-3 in the 6 game stretch, right?
At
I'd
least.
be happy. For me, I'd do quantity over quality. Quality over quantity. Where it's like
Mhm.
if you can beat two, if you go 2-4, but you beat, Baltimore, you beat, the big boys, then I'll give it to you. And it depends on how you win as well. But if we're going off of that 6 game stretch, I think this is a start of something of prove it because everybody knows in this show. I mean, Ramir, I'm not going to knock the Raiders too bad because I'm actually high on them this year. And I said that at the beginning of the season. I said that when we were talking about the draft and everything, right? But it is one of those things where I'm not a big fan of Carr, but I did, I won't knock him because with it does, it does fall on him. It does fall on his arm. It does fall on his decisions because that's what happened last year. They lost a lot of close game because of Carr. So I agree to some extent.
Well, the problem I have, with him, and listen, I'm not bashing Carr or anything. I root for his success, but it hasn't been there. And people will look at it as, well, Guru, he's passing for 73 point something, 73.9 a completion percentage. Yeah, but those passes are on short plays, and he's missed all his deep passes except for maybe like one so far this season. It just goes to show, like, why are you missing those passes in your fifth season and you're making $25 million a year? And another thing is John Gruden. Okay, um, as great as he's supposed to be, drawing up plays, him and his brother. We saw how his brother did last night. Jackson is that yes, I did study John Gruden's film. I've studied it for about a couple hours, and I watched a lot of his offensive schemes. He is a great schemer, great schematically. The thing is that it's not translating. You're doing the short pass. You're going to have Bill Belichick. He's going to force you to go downfield. He's going to take away your best receiver or tight end, and he's gonna brag at you. And I want to see Derek Carr do something. And I need to see John Gruden, a guy who's only like 8 games above 500, for him to be such an offensive genius. He's only 8 games above 500, and I just feel like this is the time for the Raiders to really do something. And if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be a huge disappointment.
Yep, it will. I will go out and say that they're gonna make the playoffs this year. At the same time, though, man, like I hear you, Guru, and I'm not gonna argue for the sake of arguing or whatnot, but let me ask you a question. A running back averages 5 yards a carry. Would you not say that's phenomenal?
I think that was really good.
Then what's the difference if you're throwing a 5 yard pass on first down
Well,
or second down?
well, this is the thing. This is the thing.
I mean, it's not the same, I mean, running backs, you're in the trenches, you're gonna wear down the team, you're gonna put a hurt. It all of that matters, right? Short pass. I mean, team who like Alex Smith. He I still don't trust them, but I do think that they're playing okay at the moment.
well, they're definitely playing okay. I mean, they're 2-0. The teams they played kind of suspect a little bit. I mean, you can worry about the Saints now. I will, but I just want to see.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I had to interrupt. I got up from my bed. threw my phone against the wall, got up, grabbed the shirt. Just to say, Guru, why you hating on the Raiders, man? You over here talking about their wins. You talking about Derek Carr. Let's not even talk about the Dallas Cowboys. You fired your coach because he did 10 years of nothing. And this new coach you got is already making spotty calls. Dak Prescott is on his last limp in the NFL right now. And you want to talk about Derek Carr completing short passes. You talk about completion. He's completing the passes. They're getting first downs. The first down, it becomes touchdowns. So I don't see what the big – now, I see if you would have said pass. But the last 2 games, we've been hitting it. You picked the Panthers to beat us. You picked the Saints to beat us. Guru, you need to learn. It's a pattern going on here. And it's Guru picking against the Raiders. It's a definite lock for a Raiders win. Are y'all on Game Respect or NFL Pickups?
We're not on NFL Pickups yet, but you missed Henry Rose the third 3 times downfield.
I know, but that's new. That's a new thing. It's a new wrinkle in Derek Carr game. A new wrinkle in the offense.
You gotta hit that pass.
It's gonna come.
That's what they missed.
At the end of the day,
that man is open and he's missing.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
He will be forced to hit him this week because Bill's going to make him throw, and he's got to hit him. The boy is open. The young man is open. He's got to hit
him. Yeah, he'll hit him.
They got other weapons they got to worry about, man. I think they'll come, man. We'll see that rookie. We'll see that rookie for sure.
Because I think the Raiders' running game and the tight end is unstoppable. You can't do nothing with him. The running back is solid, but you got to hit those other receivers.
I don't know. When you talk about the Raiders, you telling me all the reasons why you like them, but then you just it's just in your heart to say
right
pick against them. Like they have a top tier tight end. The offensive line is pretty cool. The running back can get you 6 to 7 yards a game. Derek Carr, he's doing all these completions.
Heroes,
he's
man.
getting all these completions, but they're only 6 and 7 yards. To me, that sounds like all positive.
Raymir, you just said that's my unsung hero here, man. That offensive line, that's like it's a sneaky good line. And Raymir, come on, man. Everybody talks about the Cowboys and them having one of the best lines and always having one of the best lines. I mean, this year it's a little spotty though, right? I mean, you lost your center. You lost a quarterback of the offensive line. And yeah, they're saying what Tyron Smith might be out as well, but it is one of those where you can appreciate a line, and to me, I think those are the unsung heroes for the Raiders right now. Where, man, some of those pickups, the way that they're playing, they're doing really well. I mean, it's early in the season, and long season, can they stay healthy? But hey, man. I see none but positives at this very moment. And guess what? I've said this many of times in the show, man. I'm high on the Raiders, but I'm not a fan because I can't fall into that stereotype. But it definitely is one of those of, hey, they're doing all right, man.
Well, I'm definitely a fan, and I just want to see that ball being pushed down the field, Derek Carr. I'm rooting for you, Derek Carr. So let's go to our picks for the week, shall we? Let's go to our NFL picks for the week. Raymir, he's here on time. Do you want to run that for us, my friend? Can you hear him?
Your mic's off, Raymir.
I said, now I'm going to go now. Tito got my picks. You guys holding it down. I'm out of here.
Oh.
I got the Raiders, though. Let's just start off with that game. Let me get one game. And then I'm out of here. Cam Newton has been impressive. He looks pretty good. I like them, what they're doing, but they look like they don't have enough. The Raiders stopped the Saints, and they stopped the Panthers. CMC, he's a really good running back. Even Teddy Bridgewater, he was doing some accurate passes. I don't think the offensive firepower of the New England Patriots are going to be enough. So I feel that the Raiders are going to win. I think that the Raiders, this defense, it's not the same defense. Like, Stephen Gilmore got blasted on Sunday, and he got exposed. And then we got Waller, the ultimate defense cripple hammer on our team right now. And I don't see all those things you pointed. I see all Guru's points come to fruition, and that's the reason why we win. I think we're going to run the ball really good. I think the tight end is going to give us good plays. And I think when Derek Carr has to make those check down throws to first downs, he's going to grab it. And we've seen if you get behind Gilmore and getting this in his ear, that you can get behind him. Like right now, the Raiders and the receiving core, they playing on all cylinders. The offensive line, like you said, we playing Cupid shuffle with who's playing, but I don't know. The Raiders did something different that I think most NFL teams didn't do. They went heavy on the line. They paid linemen, and they really played to have that carousel in there. Like let's not count out punch assistant coach Tom Cable. He's a good offensive line coach, and I know he's not the head coach. He went 8-8 and got fired once upon a time, but now he's back as offensive line coach, and I think they're doing good. We don't even got our star offensive lineman back yet. He's on the sideline wearing good chains, but anyway. He knows the secrets to that team. I'm pretty sure he's going to give us some tips on how to beat the Patriots, at least the defensive looks. So that's my pick of the week. No, that's not my pick of the week, but that's my pick, man. I think we got him. I think we got him. And as far as Ruggs, he's going to come on. Like, he's not lasting. He's not getting his passes because Derek Carr is not throwing him the right passes. That will come. Derek Carr he never really had a vertical stretch to where he knows how to throw the ball downfield per se. He can do it. He's pretty good. It's solid. But Ruggs is getting in this right spot. In late game they start connecting. Pass interference calls were called, but they start clicking.
Yeah,
they start clicking. So that's all it takes. It's this guy's second game. No preseason. No nothing. So I don't know. Everybody's on the fill out stage. Now that I said that, I don't even think the Raiders are at like 60% of their potential right now. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's scary, man, huh? They're going to be really good this year.
Oh man, we got some comments in there. We got Isaac Patty Boy. Whoa, I just read a comment. I guess that's Jose Tito's Peeps. He said something about the Texans. Fire.
Yeah, he said, how do the Texans fix their defensive woes? And I'm like, they need to fire Bill O'Brien.
They can't. They're young.
You need that offense. You need that offense
right,
to
Sean, I'm out, though.
stay on the field.
I'm in the comments.
Thank you, Ramir. You need, to answer that question. How do the Texans fix their defense? Bill O'Brien, man, like get rid of him. You need that offense to stay on the field. You need that offense to move the chains, to hold the ball, to score, and don't put it on the defense.
Yeah.
There's that, and then for sure, Isaac, I'll definitely say you guys definitely drew the short stick when it came to the first two games of the season. Playing KC, playing Baltimore is just not drawing any good, any good matchups at this very moment. But Deshaun Watson's a stud, man. So watch out.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to our NFL picks of the week. Tito, you want to head that off?
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'll be giving out Ramir's. I mean, he gave out the Raiders one. I gave out my Raiders one too. But we'll go down. I'll draw the lines on here. And I think Ramir's going to stay in the comments. I think he'll pick up where we're at. I'm going to toot my horn a little bit. I'm going to toot my horn a little bit and be like, these guys got to catch up. So maybe this is the week. I don't know. Like, I'll see what's up. I'm due for a bad week, so maybe don't follow my picks, guys, but we'll see. So the first game that we have going on, it's one of the early games, is you got the 49ers versus the Giants versus the G-Men. The Niners are favored by 3.5. So I have the Niners here, although they're banged up. I think, they lost Saquon. They did pick up Freeman, who's not who's definitely a good running back in my opinion. Probably, is he healthy? Burned me in fantasy a couple years in a row, but I think the Niners defense, although banged up too, I mean, man, they just have a whole bunch of injuries, man. I'm kind of talking myself out of this pick, but I'm going to say Niners here, and Ramir says Niners too.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the Niners too. Nick Mullins will be starting this week. Niners. They said that more than likely, and he's a really good backup quarterback. So 49ers as well.
For sure. Alrighty. Then we're gonna go Chicago and Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 3. I got Atlanta here. I don't trust Trash Bisky. Never will. Even though Atlanta just did me dirty against you guys last week. I'm gonna go Falcons here. Who do you go, man?
I'm gonna go Falcons. I just feel like, like I said, they're on life support right now. They need a win in the worst way, and the Bears have been fortunate. Like again, I know it's week 2, like most teams, but I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
Cool. Ramirez has the Falcons as well. Alrighty. Next one on the docket, we have a game we called out earlier. But LA Rams versus Buffalo. You actually have Buffalo favored here by 2. I'll go with Ramir's pick. Ramir calls Rams. Who do you call, Guru?
I call the Rams. I know it's going to be close.
All right.
Until Josh has got to win one bullet on this.
I hate to do it. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna call Buffalo here. So this is where we part, guys. The next one on the docket, we got the Washington football team, and we mean American football, not soccer. And Cleveland, the Browns. Watch out now. So the Browns are actually favored by 7. It's a big spread right there, guys. Ramir has the Browns. His boy Baker Mayfield and OBJ. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna bet against my team. They burned me last week. They can burn me all they want. They do it for life. I got.
Oh, well, he's got Washington. So, folks, at least he's not going to be objective. Jump off a cliff with him. I'm going to go Washington. I just feel like this is a winnable game for them. They got a good front, and Baker, they're going to come after Baker. So, yeah, Washington.
Alrighty, next game on the docket, guys, is we have Tennessee versus Minnesota. Tennessee is favored by 2.5. Ramir has Tennessee.
I'm going to take Tennessee. I know Minnesota's they're on support. I don't see it getting any better. Tennessee.
Minnesota's on life support. I don't think they're good, but I think they win. Tennessee has actually been, a couple close games. Although Tennessee's pretty good, I think Minnesota pulls this off this one. I don't think that they pull off a string of wins, but I'm going Minnesota here.
You know what? I'm going to switch my pick. I just felt so. It's going to be Minnesota.
There you go.
Raymir, you're on your own. Man. Yeah, Raymir, you're on your own.
All righty. The next one, we've talked about this one a whole bunch, but we have Las Vegas. We got, shout out my family out there. I got tons of family out there. We got Vegas versus New England. Obviously, Ramir called his pick, called in the show, called in our show. I got the Raiders. Who do you have, man?
I'm not letting my feelings get involved in it. I like the Raiders. I've always liked the Raiders since I was a kid. But, Derek Carr has to, until Derek Carr beats a quality opponent, I'm going to go against him. It is going to be the Patriots.
Nice. I forgot to say that line, but the line is New England is favored by 5.5. So the Raiders are the underdog yet once again. So
as they should be.
All righty. So then the next one, the next one we have Cincinnati. We have the Bengals versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia is favored by 5 here. Rainier, I think it's that Nelson Aguilar love that he has. He has the Eagles. I'm gonna say the Eagles as well. Who do you say, Guru?
I'm going with Cincinnati.
All right.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
This is a
Yeah,
winnable
but
game for them.
Carson Wentz is playing miserable. So, and Joe Burrow isn't, right? So we'll see how that meshes out. Cincinnati.
Yeah. Hey, Burrow's playing really nice, man. He's throwing a hell of a lot, but you got to use those running backs, kind of like what we talked about the Browns, right? Use that running back.
They
But
have enough pieces to win.
all right, the next one, another early game. Man, I'm glad we got one extra evening or afternoon game this week. But
Yeah.
one more early game. We have Houston. Shout out to fam. They definitely, they follow the Texans. So you have the Texans versus Pittsburgh. Um, Pittsburgh is favored by 4. Rainier has the Texans.
I'm going to go with the Texans, too. They have to get one
Okay.
here. They're on life support. And Deshaun is going to lift them to a victory.
I'm gonna agree. Part of me said, Pittsburgh's offense is always shows up. The receivers, they seem to draft all these stud receivers, man. You see that rookie from Notre Dame, Claypool, playing really,
Yep.
really well right now. Washington is playing good, the receiver, not the team guys. So, Connor, he's healthy. So I wanted to lean with Pitt here, but you know what? I think Deshaun Watson, I think they can pull it out. I think this is a win. I think you're right. This is a make or break. They had those 2 tough start games. I'm going Texans here, man. All righty. Starting the evening games or the afternoon games for us. We have the Jets versus Indianapolis. And hold on to your horses here. Because the line here is ridiculous. Indianapolis is favored by 11.5.
I got Indy. The Jets they stink.
Okay. Rainier has Indy, has Colts. I'm glad you guys finally see the way of Philip Rivers. I think both of you guys have bet against him the past 2 weeks. I'm gonna say Indianapolis here too, man. I mean, I think, like I said, my prediction with first coach to go, I think Gase is definitely there. But we'll see. I mean, only time will tell. But Colts all the way. The next afternoon game, you have one of Ramir's favorite picks, Carolina Panthers, versus the Chargers. Who do you have, Ramir? Or Guru, sorry. Who do you have?
I have Carolina. I'm going with
Carolina? Surprise, surprise. I'm challenging my inner Ramir here. Ramir actually has the Chargers, and I have the Chargers as well. I think A Bear, as the hockey fan in me wants to call him. Um, I think he definitely came out swinging, man. So game fluke, but I'm high on the Chargers, so let's go Chargers here.
He performed well last week because they weren't prepared for him.
That was my thinking as well. I think coaching wise too, you got to go for that 4th down, right? I mean, go for broke, man. But
not to say he wasn't bad, but they weren't prepared for him either.
Yeah, I mean, I won't knock Carolina. I think McCaffrey's going to be out though. I think that definitely hurts him. I think those receivers are studs, man. Watch out for DJ Moore. I think I've called his name, sometime, but Chargers are favored pretty big here though. 6.5 is the line. So I still say nice.
He's going to carry Carolina. He's a franchise quarterback, and he's going to show Derek Carr how it's done with no talent, and beat them Chargers.
So we have the next afternoon game. You have Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay versus Denver. Tampa's favored by 5.5. So Rainier has the Bucks, has Tom Brady. The Tom Brady's winning. I have the Tom Brady's winning. Who do you have?
I'm going with Denver.
Nice. All right, Guru. Guru's going against a grade. I like it. All right, it's going to be a big week for either Tito and Rainier because it sounds like we have a lot of the same picks. And Guru. All right, we'll see. Get that cake ready, Guru. Get that cake ready.
Oh, I'm getting it ready.
All righty, man. We got a couple more games, but you have Detroit versus Arizona.
Arizona.
Yep, Cardinals handily. Cardinals are favored by 5.5. So Cardinals. Rainier says Cardinals. Guru says Cardinals. All righty. I mean, we already know Rainier's pick, or we already know Guru's pick here. Next game is you have, to me, one of the games of the week, because I just want to see them lose. Dallas versus Seattle. Seattle is favored by 5. Yep. Rainier says Seahawks. I say Seahawks. Guru.
I'm gonna shock you guys, and I'm gonna go with Cowboys.
You have to. You know why I say you have to go for them? Because it's gonna go into your argument, right? I mean, teams that start 0-3. I mean, teams that start 1-3 don't favor that much better either.
We good. We good. We on the board. We on the board.
There you go, man. It's all good. All right. So you guys heard it here first. Guru picked the Cowboys. Surprise, surprise. Get your cake ready, guys. He got cake for all of us.
That's right.
The night game, man, which I'm excited for. I know Rainier's excited for because we all know how he likes his Cal Berkeley guys. I always find that, sorry, Rainier, you're not here to defend yourself. I know that he says he likes Cal Berkeley and, Goff. What about Aaron Rodgers, man? Where's the Aaron Rodgers love? Rainier never gives Aaron Rodgers any love. Where's it at? But nah. You got Green Bay versus New Orleans. In a shocker, but not really shocker. New Orleans is favored here by 3. So Rainier has, with a shocker, he has the Packers. I have the Packers. Who do you have, Guru?
I have the Packers.
There you go. All right. We're aligned there. So that's the Sunday night game. Then we have our Monday. We have the game of the week, right? I think everybody's salivating for this one. We have KC, defending champs, versus Baltimore. Baltimore favored here by 3.5. So who do you have?
Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Rainier has Lamar Jackson as well. Hey, man, Baltimore cannot do any wrong right now. Like, they have some crazy stat of just like, other than that playoff game that they lost, I think like every game they've led start to finish, like since last season and this season, like it's pretty crazy, man. But
I believe Marcus Peters is the best corner in the league. That's just my opinion.
Right, and the Rams gave him away.
Yeah.
But what do you think it was a scheme? Sorry to break off on the line, guys, but I'm building some suspense because my pick's gonna shock you guys. But I mean, do you think it was just a defensive scheme with the Rams that he just wasn't fitting there?
Oh, he fit their scheme. I just think that they didn't want to pay him and Jalen. which would have been, a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, for sure. All right, so Raymir says the Ravens. Guru says Ravens. I'm gonna go KC here. I think KC flexes their muscles yet once again. And we'll see a similar result, but I hope not. I hope Baltimore can come out here. I hope this is I want one of these gritty games, man. I want one of these, everybody going for it in it, go for broke, man. That's our new motto. So but I got KC here. That's just me, guys.
KC.
All righty. Well, that's the picks.
Right. All right. So you had it here first. Tito gave us our games of the week, our picks. And look, that's what we have for you folks this week. Tito, is there anything you wanted to say before we sign off tonight?
Just wanted to shout out Raymir. Thanks for jumping on. Briefly, thanks for being in the comments. Feel better, man. Try not to go too hard. Working out's bad for you, man. Don't you know? We can't do that. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. We definitely see you guys. Everybody that's watching, hi Nolan, Kev, definitely. The Celtics put it on it. Jose, Louis, always a blast, always a pleasure seeing you in here, man. I think we got new blood in here, Isaac. Definitely a pleasure, blast. Welcome to the show. Feel free, comment, interact. We definitely see you guys here. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to go through the comments real quick just to see if we missed anything. As I was reading off. Yeah, he Isaac asked about the Texans. You're absolutely right, man. The GM does love Bill O'Brien. I mean, if anything, I think Bill O'Brien is the GM. It's the owner, man. There's a partnership there. I don't know. There's probably some pictures that he has to be some blackmail going on of why that guy's still in charge. But same thing could be said, with Daniel Snyder still owning that team, man. He has something on someone. Yeah, we see this. Cleveland is a hype train. Yep. Raymir, you see that? Louis, Jose got Minnesota. They say Tennessee's good. You got Raiders. Yep. A lot of people going Raiders. Go Philly here. Houston.
Raiders.
They got Texans. Yep. We got Jets, all right. McCaffrey, yep. McCaffrey's down. Chargers, yeah. Tampa, yep. Who we have? Guru. Oh, Raymir. Raymir's in the comments, man. We got a, shocker. Guru shocking us with the Dallas pick. Pax. Jose got KC winning. Where we at? If Baltimore wins, the AFC title is all they care about. Jose Chavez Jr. sucks. All right, I guess he's watching the fight. Yeah, there's a random boxing fight going on right now in the zone. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is fighting, but his dad is actually fighting an exhibition fight as well. He's the main card. Yeah, so it's like, yeah. For sure, man. Thank you guys. Thank you all partnering up with us, catching the Friday show. Continue to watch, continue to support. Catch us on the rewatch, guys. Thank you, man.
Yes, folks, and thank y'all out there for watching again. Please tune in. We love your support. We like bringing it to you. And, Raymir, get better. So we're going to sign off here tonight with GRT Sports. Tito, Guru, and Raymir off.